Hey everybody, it's Rachel with Rachel Q Stitches and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be making a project with my Cotton Cuts Snippet Bag. I got this in yesterday and I am excited to do something with it. This is, I guess, September's bag. It came yesterday, which was September 30th. But anyway, so I'm going to try to make a quilt or something with this bag. It may end up being a baby quilt, maybe doll quilt, pot holder, table topper, I don't know, but I'm going to make a project with this bag. And what I'm going to do is I am going to use a block that I have been making with all of my snippets. When I get my snippets, I iron them, I process them, and I cut them. And lately I've been going through them and cutting them down to make these blocks. And this is variation A and B. B. As you can see, they're very scrappy, but I thought since this bag just looked great together, look at all those bright colors, I was just going to see if I can make one project with this bag. So I'm going to head on over to my ironing table, get these ironed, get them trimmed up, start cutting the blocks, and see what I can make. Join me.
Okay, so here I am just kind of going through my pieces and I'm pulling out all of the triangles. I'm spraying them with a little bit of starch, ironing them with my very ancient iron, and basically just getting them ready for me to trim up and sew. I'm going to be using all my triangles. Normally I try to just use the smaller triangles for this and save my bigger triangles for another project. But I'm going to go ahead and use all of the big ones here, and anyway, you see all my stack of fabrics. Okay, so here's all my triangles, and I'm gonna sort them out by color so that I can match them up into pairs. Anyway, size 2, I'm gonna match them up and try to put two pieces that are close in size as possible and use those together. So see, here you have me doing this and just trying to not be too particular about it, but just trying to get them as close as possible as I can to the right, same size. And I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through all of this so you guys aren't bored out of your minds, and then I don't have to try to figure out things to say that might interest you. Okay, so y'all just, there it is. Alright, so here I am ironing out the straight pieces. These pieces are going to be trimmed down, and so I think what I'm doing here, I don't think I'm being very particular. I think at first I tried to do it by color, then I just went ahead and just started ironing them and getting them ready to trim. I use a combination. I use Stay Flow starch, which is no longer being made, and I'm very, very sad. I do have a bottle that was mine and a bottle that I took from my mom's house when she passed away. So I have 2 jugs full, and I do mix them 50-50 with water, but I am very sad that they stopped making Stay Flow starch. It is my absolute favorite starch, and you know, I have people selling them for $25 a jug, and that's just ridiculous if you ask me. But anyway, so if you know of a suitable replacement, I also use Best Press, but Stay Flow really is just my favorite. If you know of something that I can use, let me know. Okay, So here I'm cleaning off my table with my pieces that I had cut from my previous Snippets bags. But what I'm doing here is I'm trimming up the bottoms of the half square triangles just to get it a straight edge so that I have something straight to sew my 1/4 inch seam allowances with. But that's pretty much all I'm doing right here is getting all my triangles straightened. And this is what I do every time I work with a snippet bag and I pull out all those triangles is I match them up by size, give them a straight edge, and bring them over to my sewing machine, and I go ahead and sew them up. Next, I'm going to be working on the straight pieces. Now, this block uses a combination of 2.5 inch squares and 2.5 by 4.5 inch strips and a 4.5 inch square in the center. But since snippets don't come with 4.5 inch squares, I go ahead and that's why I'm using the triangles, and I'm going to use the four square, the four square block in that corner. So that's what I'm doing, is just getting all these trimmed up and ready to go, and then I'm going to go ahead and subcut them. I try to get a bigger variety of sizes that I can, making sure I have at least a 2.5 and a 4.5 inch of each color, just to make sure that the colors spread around. I found out later on that I had a ton of this yellow, and it was a little difficult. So here I am trimming up my triangles. I just basically, I still have not changed the blade in my rotary cutter. I really need to get some. But anyway, so I'm just going ahead and trimming up my half square triangles, making sure that I get them at 4.5 inches, and get them all the same size, and try to, you know how I'm about scraps. Conserve as much of them as I can. So this is what I'm doing right here, just trimming them all up. All right, so here's the finished quilt. Sorry about the angle. I don't know what I was doing when I filmed this, but anyway, anyhow, so it is 3 by 4, which means finished. This top will be 18 by 24, and so I decided not to sew them together. I decided to go ahead and just throw them in with the other blocks from my Snippets bags. It was a decent size. It could have been a dog quilt. If you took the leftover strips that I had, the 1.5 inch strips that I had that I used for string blocks, you could have used those. I should say I could have used them for maybe a piano keyboarder, which would have made it a little bit bigger. So if you're in the market to make maybe a small doll quilt or a baby quilt for under $10, or if you make charity quilts, this is a good way to get this done without cutting into what I like to refer to as my good fabric. But this is it. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in my bundle with the rest of them. Thank you so much for watching me and for being here with me today as I make this $10 quilt from my Cotton Cuts Snippets bags. And I could have made it bigger. I really could have, but I decided not to. So thanks again, and I will see you guys next time, Lord willing. Happy stitching, everybody. Bye-bye.